Hey everyone, it's Thursday, late afternoon. It's time for a PNN pop-up and just a little bit of a reminder that at least through the month of October, the only live streams that I'll be doing will be Thursday night, and this is Thursday, so tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for half an hour for our guided meditation for a healed America, and boy do we need that. So that's just in a few hours from now. And Church of Spirituality, Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Those are the only two live streams of the week that I'll be doing until future notice. And that's because of the financial crunch that's being created by my putting all this time into my YouTube channel and not getting enough return on my investment. So just make a note of that. I am going to continue to do probably daily PNNs that I pre-record and upload along with Off the Ledge. So it's not like you won't see me, but you'll see me on less on the live streams. So that having been said, let's go over what's going on in this country. The Republican Party does not exist anymore. What we have is an authoritarian party that's really making sure that they get the message across to America that they hate us. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. The message that they're sending to the American people and their own constituents in their own states that voted them in. Well, there's gerrymandering and all that, but that's another topic. Related, but we'll get into that another time. But they were voted in to serve their constituents. And they're dug in on making sure that they get the point across to the American people that they're in charge, and that means pain. It's as simple as that. You really can't derive any other message from them, except they're in charge, and that means pain for us. Remember, all those MAGAs who voted for Trump that thought that was a good idea, he was literally saying every single day on the campaign trail, as he showed us more and more what an insane person he is, was saying that he was going to give everyone retribution, that this was his revenge tour. This was his opportunity for revenge. A man who was programmed from childhood that the best way to be is to be a killer. Straight out of Mary Trump's book. So that having been said, I'm going to just read on whether the MAGAs are going in Congress are going to bend. Because if they really are this gung-ho on taking away health care, they've lost all of the American people except for the insanely wealthy. I have a sense that they're going to come to the table with something out of kind of desperation. Because it's not that they mind if people hate them. What they do mind is the potential of losing power. That fake power that they have. Are the MAGA Republicans going to come to the table with something to stop this government shutdown? Are they going to come to the table with something? It's up in the air at the present time. So let's look at some cards to give us some insight. Crazy times, but we all knew it was going to get worse. Before it gets better, it's going to get worse. And Dumpy is really, really getting all jazzed up and upset. And he's really threatening revenge now. If you show up at 7 tonight for our guided meditation, if you can, we spend the first 15 minutes chatting about things. It gives people a chance to know that we're on and to show up. So we do talk, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we go into our meditation. The meditation portion is only 15 minutes, so you can do it, even if you show up late. So, the question, are the MAGA Republicans gonna come back to the table, at least to get the government open? And it's up in the air right now. Okay, so big disruption happening for them. The power of the people is the magic. The star is the United States. They lose this one big time. They lose big time. I don't mean they're not going to continue to inflict pain, but they're losing energy as a result of this. We are in a really interesting energetic position because the American populace is angry but refusing to be not peaceful. It's really a fascinating balance of things, because the more that we find our power in the stillness, in other words, peacefully protesting, and that includes doing what they're doing in Portland, having like costumes and clown outfits and parades and music and in front of the ICE detention centers. To juxtapose those two things together is bizarre to these MAGA Republicans and these ICE agents. It throws them off. And then they kind of don't know what to do. And so the same thing is happening with the MAGAs in Congress. It's like throwing them off, and they don't really know what to do, because there's no really good, viable way to win. So when I'm looking at whether the MAGA Republicans are going to budge and do something to give us back our health care, it's really bad for them. And here we are, the quiet magicians, using what we know. This reminds me of the musicians too. I didn't mention that singer-songwriter in Nashville that wrote the song about ice. We'll talk more about that later too. Really good song. I'm a sucker for beautiful acoustic guitar and vocals and simple. Really, it was really, really good. So, the star is the United States. This is what the MAGA Republicans are doing to themselves. We have the power. We do what needs to be done. Send lots and lots of positive energy to the Democrats that are working really hard. Believe it or not, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I guess I can call her Marjorie Taylor Greene or whatever she calls herself now, MTG, is on the side of the Democrats. Hell hath frozen over. Wow. Let's read on Dumpy and how it's going to go for him. That he's basically, he's saying the quiet part out loud, like he's prone to do. And he's saying anything that's democratic, anything in our government that's democratic, Dumpy says he's going to take away. Is there any other way, any more obvious way to say I'm taking away democracy? Anyway. Well, we're taking back democracy and we won't be backing down like my song says. I'll put it in the description. I literally heard him say that. Maybe you did too in a little video clip. That now he's going to take away everything that's Democrat. Well, he says Democrat this and Democrat that. Everything that's democratic, he's saying he's going to take away. That means anything that represents we, the people, helping one another, cooperating with one another, making this country work as a collective project, really, right? He's going to make sure he attacks it and takes it away. Like an abusive father, daddy, right? Big daddy. Like an abusive daddy. Boy, is he ever. An abusive daddy who's taking the things that are good for his children away from them because they're good. He's behaving like that. He's a sadist. So I'm going to choose 3 cards about what's going to happen as a result of him going around with his revenge and retribution. Words and actions. Something happens quickly. This is we the people. Something happens quickly. This is great force and happening quickly. I'm actually feeling Democrats pulling ahead here. And the 9 of Cups. We have a lot to work with. And, you know, excuse me, but I heard a video clip of a reporter saying to Hakeem Jeffries, I cannot stand when they're this, like, shallow. Chuck Schumer says this is good for the Democrats. Do you think that this is good, that the Democrats are... I know. Someday, they're going to wake up and realize life is not a reality show. Life is not all about grandstanding. Life is not all about your ratings. Life is not about how many billions that you have. Life is not about being #1 in the mainstream fake news. That's not what life is about. Life is about telling the truth and serving one another and loving one another and making the world a better, brighter, beautiful place. And if you don't want to do that, then just get out of the way and let us do it. I mean, it reminds me of the time when Matthew McConaughey, who grew up in Uvalde, Texas, got up in front of the press and had that little pair of shoes and was tears in his eyes and talking about how we needed to do something about gun control. And then finally, when he was finished and he walked out, a reporter said, were you grandstanding just then? We need to fucking get over that shit. It's unbelievable. We are not that shallow. They're trying to take away our depth, our humanness, our sense of humanity. And I have had it. And I know you have had it too. And I'm here to be a channel for your being able to express your emotions, because we connect that way. 3 cards about this regime in general. I got my pirate out on the porch. I hung him up. He's looking over the water like this. I don't know if you can see him. You can kind of see him. There he is. That's Jack the pirate. Anyway, we got to keep it light. I get so upset. And we all get upset. There's reason. I mean, it's just unprecedented. It really is. However, said guru's coming to Boston. More about that later too. I think he's here now. I digress. So what I'm reading on is the MAGAs in Congress. What's going to happen to them? The information about the the January 6th is going to become more in the forefront. I mean, I keep hearing whispers, and I'm not sure where the sources are coming from, and I really need to dig a little deeper. I keep hearing whispers of the January 6th investigation around that is still, it's kind of like nipping at Dumpy's heels in a certain way. So the judgment card, yeah, this is big judgment. I'm asking what's going to happen to these MAGA Republicans. Big judgment. Right now, the 2 of Wands indicates that we just have to we have to hold the line. We just have to be holding the line right now. And we are. And being peaceful is our weapon. Protesting peacefully is our weapon. As is video cameras on our phones. It doesn't look good for them. This reminds me that the coup continues, their attempted coup continues from January 6th. Judgment is on them. Judgment is definitely on them. Is there more evidence coming out that's usable about January 6th? Yeah, I can't really get specific because I'm not really sure even what to ask about that, but it's a yes. Huh. Okay, let me just see if there's anything else we need to go over right now. There's so many things. There's talk of peace talks between Gaza and between Hamas and Israel. There's talk of releasing hostages. Let's see if that's actually going to happen. The upsetting thing is about that, of course, it's wonderful. You know, peace is what's needed. The terrible thing about that is Dumpy's just going to take credit for it. So is that going to... Are the hostages being released? Is that... And peace talks being successful? Is that happening? That's happening right now. Notice, you know, those brave people on that flotilla taking aid to the people of Gaza, you know, that got held hostage. I think that moved the needle. I really do. Is Dumpy going to get credit for that? I have a no. So even though he might go on about, well, I stopped all these wars. I stopped 18,000 wars. You know how he is. He says he stopped like 7 wars that he had nothing to do with. Yeah, it's not credible. It's not believable. So hopefully peace talks ensue and that area of the world calms down. But it doesn't look like it's going to work, even though he will, you know, he's going to try to take credit. But it doesn't look like it's going to be widely believed. All right, so it's Thursday, late afternoon. I will upload this in a little bit, and please join us. We meet every single Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time live. So the live stream will be here for the guided meditation. I'll continue to do PNNs that I upload for the time being. See you tonight. And I want to encourage everybody to go back and I'll find it and put the link in the description too, of the Juneteenth guided meditation for Healed America, because as I recall, it was a guided meditation about getting ice to cut it out. The other thing that we've been meditating on, it's worth mentioning, is that the energy in the capital becomes so high frequency that the evil gets run out of there. It's kind of interesting to see what's transpiring. Did we do that? Who knows? But maybe we did. All right. Thank you so much. To book a session, psychic.com. If you're a member, you have access to all the members-only vids. Please sign up for our Halloween party on the 21st. Go to empowermentunlimited.net. See you tonight. Love you all. Thumbs up. Namaste.